Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the LA Aftershocks and the Dublin Shamrocks. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and the Dublin Shamrocks. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at these Dubliners entering play here. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they come in play. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Huber. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now this offense ready to head back out there.
Tight right. Now let's go. 3-19.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. There he goes inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The numbers for him from a week ago, 22 carries, 51 yards and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Green, 39.
On first down, Hernandez. Going right side here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
Hey. All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true.
And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys have taken a first quarter lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 22 carries, 81 yards. Now Mack.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
Throw left side complete. It's Fowler. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Hurry up, here we go.
Here's Matt. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 3rd down, Huber. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll go on the ground. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
All right, here we go.
Hernandez now off the bootleg. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
To throw is Hernandez. On first down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Back to throw. Hernandez got his man complete over the middle. It's Blair. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Looking to throw. Hernandez.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Set. Blue line.
Hernandez to throw again. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Now let's go.
Here's Hernandez. From the gun, he'll throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
3-19.
Now Hernandez operating from the gun. And that is incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And Elliott puts this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Green 39! Green 39!
To throw on second down. Huber over the middle this time to Fowler. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, that's Mack, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. Fielded at the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
All right, here we go.
Hernandez now on 1st and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Blair. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Green 39!
Operating from the gun. Hernandez throwing the out route incomplete. That's Price. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive, going to the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game, as it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. From there, we're off to check out another game, and it was the visiting Carolina Panthers who were victorious in that one. Darius Geis, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far, with a touchdown run as well. And then lastly, on Monday Night Football, those fans will be riled up, as it'll be a good matchup between their guys and what equates to be a very tough opponent. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Hernandez. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Huber. And incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it'll be a turnover. This is going the other way.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's going the other way. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
A run by Mack to start the drive. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Not what you wanted there, 3rd and 2.
And this is something you've worked on in practice from the time you were in training camp. Yet you still create your own mistakes.
To throw on 3rd down, Huber. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. So they bring out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
And that's the relief, that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. To throw is Hernandez. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Over the middle, complete. It's Blair. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently,
here we go.
you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. This is where, 4th quarter, you've got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he gets it down to the 32. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On first down, they're going option left. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, the risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open-air booth, that